The hospital room was chaos. Nurses rushed in, security was called, and there she stood, Anna, clutching my baby, claiming she was the mother. "Give her back!" I screamed, my voice breaking. "She's mine!" But Anna's eyes burned with obsession. "No, she belongs to me. She always has." Gasps filled the hallway. Doctors froze, unsure what to do. 2 women, 1 child, 1 truth. And in that moment, justice was about to be served. But to understand how it came to this, we need to go back. Back to the beginning. Back to when my life still felt perfect. My name is Claire Anderson. I'm 34, a wife, a mother, and until 6 months ago, I believed my world was safe. I lived in a quiet suburban neighborhood, the kind where neighbors waved as they watered their lawns, where kids played hopscotch on the sidewalks, where secrets felt impossible. My husband, David, worked long hours, but loved us deeply. And our daughter, Emily, 6 months old, was the center of my universe. Her laugh was the melody of my mornings. Her tiny fingers curled around mine felt like the strongest bond on earth. I thought nothing could touch us. But that was before Anna came into our lives. I first saw her at the park. She sat alone on a bench wearing oversized sunglasses, watching me, watching Emily. At first, I brushed it off. People admired babies all the time. But this was different. Her stare wasn't casual. It was hungry, possessive. When our eyes met, she smiled, but it wasn't warm. It was sharp, like a knife disguised as kindness. Something in my chest tightened. I turned the stroller away, but I could feel her gaze following us. Days later, I saw her again, this time at the grocery store. No sunglasses. Her green eyes locked on Emily. She didn't even blink. David noticed too. "Do you know her?" he whispered. I shook my head, but inside, dread began to bloom. That night, I couldn't sleep. I replayed the way she stared, the way she smiled at my baby as if Emily belonged to her. I kissed Emily's forehead as she slept, and I made a silent promise. No one will take you from me, not while I'm breathing. But mothers know. We sense danger before it knocks on our door. And mine was coming closer, step by step, smile by smile.
The doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. David was still at work. Emily was in her swing, babbling happily. I wiped my hands on a towel and opened the door. And there she was. Anna. The woman from the park. The woman from the grocery store. Now standing on my porch. Her smile was too wide, too practiced. "Hello, Claire," she said softly, like we were old friends, like she already knew me. My stomach tightened. "How do you know my name?" I asked. She tilted her head. "I've seen you at the park, at the store. Small towns, you know. Everyone recognizes everyone, eventually." Her eyes flicked past me, to Emily, to my baby. "She's beautiful," Anna whispered. "Perfect. She looks so familiar." That night, I told David. His brow furrowed, but his words cut. "Claire, maybe you're overthinking. She's probably just lonely, trying to make conversation." But I shook my head. No, David, she knew my name. And the way she looked at Emily, it wasn't normal. David sighed, kissed my forehead. Don't stress yourself. You need rest. But I knew. Rest was no longer possible. Meanwhile, in a cramped apartment across town, Anna sat alone at her kitchen table. The light flickered overhead. She pulled out an old photograph, a child version of herself, hair unkempt, eyes hollow, standing next to a mother who never smiled. Anna traced her tiny face with her finger. Her voice broke into a whisper. No one ever wanted me. She remembered her childhood, the empty fridge, the slammed doors, the neighbors who pitied her but never helped. She watched other girls get hugs at the school gates, birthday parties, family dinners, but never her. And deep inside, something cracked. She learned to fake smiles, to pretend she didn't care, but envy festered, and envy became obsession. Back in my world, the encounters grew stranger. I went to a new mothers group at the community center, hoping for support, hoping for normal. The room was filled with chatter, mothers rocking their babies, warmth, community. Until the door creaked open, and she walked in. Anna. No sunglasses this time, her hair tied neatly, a smile plastered on her face. Hi, I'm Anna, she introduced herself. I'm new here, thought I'd join. She pushed an empty stroller, a doll tucked under a blanket inside. The room went awkwardly quiet, but no one said a word. Except me. I felt my throat tighten, my heart race. After the meeting, she approached me. Claire, she said smoothly, as mothers, we should stick together. Her eyes burned. Her smile didn't reach them. Let me help you with Emily sometime. I'd love to babysit. My blood ran cold. No, I said sharply. Emily doesn't need that. But Anna just smiled wider. You'll change your mind. I know you will. That night, I stood over Emily's crib, her tiny chest rising and falling, her hand curled around her stuffed rabbit. I whispered to her, I don't know who she is, but I know she wants something, and I promise you, Emily, she will never have you. But even as I spoke, I felt it, the shadows creeping closer, the sense that Anna wasn't just passing through my life. She was planning. She was waiting. And soon, she would make her move.
The days felt heavier now. Even in the sunlight, shadows seemed to follow me. Because Anna wasn't just showing up anymore. She was weaving herself into my world. It started small. At the park, another mother waved to me. Claire, your sister is so sweet, she said warmly. She told us she's been helping you with Emily. I froze. My sister? I asked sharply. The woman nodded. Yes, Anna. She even showed us pictures of her holding Emily. She adores that baby. My stomach dropped. She's not my sister, I snapped. She's not even family. The mother's smile faded, her eyes wide. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood. But I knew. It wasn't a misunderstanding. Anna had lied. She was telling everyone she was blood. That evening, I confronted David. She's spreading lies, David. She's telling people she's my sister. She's trying to make it look like she belongs in our lives. David frowned, uneasy. Claire, maybe she just...
got carried away. Maybe she feels close to you." "No," I cried. "This isn't friendship. This is obsession." But his hesitation stung. Because if even my husband doubted me, how would I protect Emily from what was coming? Meanwhile, across town, Anna stood in front of her mirror, practicing. "Hi, I'm Anna, Claire's sister." Her smile stretched, her tone sweet. Again and again she rehearsed it, until the words sounded natural. She looked down at her doll in the stroller. "I'm closer to them than she thinks. Soon, everyone will believe I'm family." Her laughter cracked in the silence. The next week, I walked into the daycare. Emily's teacher greeted me. "Oh, Claire, your sister dropped by earlier. She said she wanted to pick up Emily but forgot the paperwork." My blood ran cold. "She's not my sister!" I shouted, louder than I had intended. Other parents turned their heads. The teacher blinked, confused. I'm sorry. She seemed convincing?" Convincing. That word tore at me, because Anna wasn't just pretending. She was convincing. That night, my phone buzzed. A blocked number. I almost didn't answer, but I did. Silence at first. Then her voice. Calm. Chilling. "Claire, you look so tired. Maybe you should let me help with Emily. I'd be such a good mother to her." My breath caught in my throat. "You're sick!" I hissed. "Stay away from us." Her laughter echoed before the line went dead. The next morning, I found something horrifying. On my porch lay a baby blanket. Emily's name stitched into the corner. But it wasn't ours. It was new, freshly embroidered. A gift? Or a warning? My hands shook as I held it, because it was proof. Anna wasn't just watching anymore. She was preparing. When I told David, he clenched his jaw. Finally, the doubt cracked. "All right," he said firmly, "we're going to the police." But the police weren't much help. "No crime has been committed yet," the officer said. "She hasn't taken the child. All you have is suspicion." Suspicion. That was all I had. But I knew. I knew. That night, I sat by Emily's crib, her tiny breaths steady, her fist curled around her rabbit, and I whispered, "She's trying to take you from me. Piece by piece, lie by lie. But I will fight her, with everything I have. Because Anna wasn't just a shadow anymore. She was inside my circle, inside my story, rewriting it with every step. And if I didn't stop her soon, I knew how it would end."
The night was quiet, too quiet. I had just put Emily down to sleep. The baby monitor glowed softly on my nightstand. David was working late again. I curled up on the couch, exhaustion pressing down on me. But then, a sound, a faint creak, from the backyard. My heart froze. I tiptoed to the window, pulled back the curtain, and there she was. Anna! Standing in my yard, her hands on Emily's stroller, rocking it slowly even though Emily wasn't inside. My blood ran cold. "Anna!" I shouted, rushing out the back door. Her head snapped up, but instead of guilt, her face held calmness, like she belonged there. "Oh, Claire," she said sweetly. "I saw pollen all over the stroller. I was just cleaning it for you." Her hand lingered on the handle, her smile too wide. "Don't come into my yard again," I snapped. "Ever." Her smile twitched, but her voice stayed soft. "Of course, I didn't mean to upset you." Yet, as she walked away, her eyes locked on me, cold, unblinking, a silent warning. The next morning, something was missing. Emily's birth certificate. I kept it in a folder in the desk drawer, but when I checked, it was gone. Panic surged through me. Had I misplaced it? Or had she taken it? I remembered her in my yard, her hand brushing against the back door. The lock was old, weak. My chest tightened. Anna wasn't just watching anymore. She was stealing, building her case. That evening, I confronted David. She took Emily's birth certificate. I know it. But David shook his head. Claire, we can't jump to conclusions. Maybe you misplaced it. No! I shouted, tears streaming down my face. She's inside this house, David. She's crawling into our lives, and she's going to take our daughter if we don't stop her. David hesitated, and in that hesitation, I felt more alone than ever. Meanwhile, in her apartment, Anna spread the documents across her table. Emily's birth certificate, photocopies of Claire's signature she had practiced again and again. She hummed softly to herself, like a mother rocking a child. She filled out fake medical forms, updating mother's name to Anna. She stared at the paper, satisfaction curling her lips. It's almost real now. Almost mine. 2 days later, the hospital called. Mrs. Anderson, we've received your request to update Emily's file. We just need you to confirm some details. My grip tightened on the phone. I didn't request anything, I said sharply. The nurse hesitated. Well, a woman claiming to be your sister came in. She had documents. She insisted you authorized her. My knees buckled. I clutched the counter for balance. She's not my sister. She's not family. Do not release anything to her. The nurse promised to lock the file, but dread knotted in my chest. Anna was rewriting the truth, piece by piece, document by document. That night, I sat in Emily's room. The lavender walls felt smaller now, the shadows deeper. I whispered to her sleeping form, "She's trying to erase me, Emily. Erase who I am. Erase who you are. But I won't let her." But Anna's lies were already spreading. At the grocery store, a neighbor stopped me. "Claire, I didn't know your sister moved in nearby. She's been telling everyone how much she loves helping with Emily." My skin burned. "She's not my sister," I snapped. The neighbor's smile faltered. Confusion spread across her face. And in that moment, I realized Anna's story was winning. And mine was starting to sound like madness. That night, as rain lashed against the windows, I dreamed of papers, of signatures, of Anna standing in a hospital room holding Emily, doctors surrounding her, nodding, believing her. I woke drenched in sweat, and one thought thundered in my mind. She's getting closer. Closer to taking everything. And the cracks in my world were breaking wide open. The phone rang at noon. I answered, balancing Emily on my hip. "Mrs. Anderson, this is Little Sprout's daycare." My stomach tightened. Something in the teacher's voice was wrong. "We just wanted to confirm. Did you send your sister today to pick up Emily? She seemed to know everything about her." My blood ran cold. I gripped the phone so tight, my knuckles turned white. "She is not my sister. Do not ever release my child to her." The teacher gasped. "Oh my God, Claire, I'm so sorry. She was so convincing." I rushed to the daycare. And there she was, Anna, standing at the counter, arguing calmly with the receptionist, her green eyes blazing with false confidence. "She's my niece," Anna said smoothly. "Claire told me I could take her home. She must have forgotten to call." My heart pounded as I stormed forward. "Get away from my child," I shouted. The room froze. Parents turned. Children stopped playing. Anna's lips curled into a soft smile. "Claire, you're overreacting again. You look so tired. Maybe you need help." Gasps spread through the room. Whispers. Doubt. And that was her weapon. Not force, but lies. Spoken with enough calmness to make me look unstable. I pulled Emily into my arms. Tears blurred my vision. "She's mine," I whispered. "My daughter, not yours." Anna leaned closer, her voice low. "You can scream all you want, Claire, but one day, no one will believe you." My chest ached because part of me feared she was right. That night, David finally snapped. "Claire, this has to stop. You're scaring people. The teachers, the neighbors, everyone thinks you're losing it." "David, she's trying to take Emily from us," I screamed. "She's forging documents. She's lying to everyone." But his eyes filled with doubt. "Do you have proof?" he asked again. And I broke because all I had were shadows. And Anna knew it. Meanwhile, in her apartment, Anna laid out her trophies. Emily's stolen blanket, photocopies of fake birth certificates, a forged ID with her name, Anna Anderson. She whispered to herself as she cradled her doll. "I'm the mother now. No one will question it. She's too emotional, too unstable. They'll believe me before they believe her." Her laugh cracked the silence, sharp, unhinged. Days later, I walked into the grocery store. And there she was again, smiling at a cashier, talking loudly. "Yes, my sister Claire is so tired these days. I've been helping raise little Emily. Sometimes I feel like I'm more of a mother than she is." The cashier laughed politely, but my world tilted. She was planting seeds everywhere, and they were starting to grow. I left the store in tears, clutching Emily to my chest. "Why won't anyone believe me?" I whispered. "Why can't they see what she is?" But Emily's tiny hand brushed my cheek. And in her innocence, I found strength. "I'll fight for you," I promised, "no matter what it takes." That night, I heard footsteps outside again. Slow, deliberate. I peeked through the curtain. Anna stood under the street lamp, her arms folded, her eyes fixed at our house, waiting, watching. And deep inside, I knew she wasn't stopping. She was getting bolder, stronger, closer. The shadows weren't just growing. They were consuming. And the war for my baby had already begun. The phone call came on a Wednesday afternoon. I was feeding Emily in her high chair when my cell buzzed. "Mrs. Anderson? This is St. Mary's Hospital. We just need you to confirm the changes you made to your daughter's file." My stomach dropped. "What changes?" I asked sharply. The nurse hesitated. "Well, your sister came in this morning. She provided updated documents. She signed the forms on your behalf." I froze. My voice shook. "I don't have a sister." Silence on the line. Then the nurse's nervous reply. "Oh, then you should come in. Immediately." I raced to the hospital with Emily in her car seat. My heart pounded. My hands trembled against the steering wheel. When I stormed into the reception, I saw her. Anna, standing confidently at the counter, papers spread out in front of her, talking to the receptionist like she belonged there. "She's my child," Anna said smoothly. "Emily Rose Anderson. I'm just correcting an error in the records. My sister often gets confused." My chest burned. "No!" I shouted, rushing forward. "She's lying! Emily is my daughter. I am her mother." The waiting room went silent. Heads turned, whispers filled the air. The receptionist frowned, looking between us. "Ma'am, she has documentation." I slammed my hand on the counter. Those are fake. She stole my daughter's birth certificate. She's not family. She's nothing. My voice shook. Tears blurred my vision. But Anna's smile stayed calm, polished, practiced. Claire, she said softly, almost pitying, you're exhausted. You can't keep track of everything anymore. Let me take care of Emily. She'll be safer with me. Gasps spread through the room. Mothers pulled their children closer. I could feel the doubt radiating from strangers' eyes. The nurse appeared, holding the file. Mrs. Anderson, these documents look legitimate, if you can't prove otherwise. My knees buckled. The room spun. I clutched Emily tighter, sobbing. She's mine, my baby, mine. Anna's eyes gleamed with victory, and for a terrifying second, I thought I had lost. But then, a voice cut through the chaos. A doctor stepped forward. Wait, I've seen this child before. Emily belongs to Claire Anderson. I delivered her. I know her mother. The room froze. All eyes turned to him. Anna's smile faltered for the first time. Her mask cracked. No, you're mistaken, she stammered. But the doctor shook his head. I never forget a mother's face, and Claire was right there in the delivery room. Not you. Security was called. The forged documents were seized. Anna's calm facade began to unravel. Her voice rose. She's supposed to be mine. I deserve her. She doesn't deserve to be a mother. I do. Her scream echoed through the hospital halls. People stared in horror. And as they dragged her away, she locked eyes with me. I'll be back, Claire. She's mine. She'll always be mine. I collapsed into the chair, clutching Emily to my chest. Tears streamed down my face. Relief and terror tangled together. Justice had been served, but only for now, because I knew Anna's obsession wasn't over. Not yet.
The hospital confrontation should have ended it. She was exposed, humiliated, dragged away screaming. But the truth is, it only made her more dangerous. At home, I couldn't breathe without fear. Every sound outside made me jump. Every shadow through the curtains looked like her. I double-checked the locks, triple-checked Emily's crib. I even slept with the baby monitor pressed against my chest. But sleep never came, only nightmares. David tried to comfort me, but his patience was running thin. Claire, you're driving yourself into madness, he said one night. She's gone. She won't come back. I shook my head violently. No, you don't understand. She promised she would come back. She's out there, waiting. David rubbed his face in frustration. We can't live like this. You're paranoid. You're scaring Emily. His words stung, but what hurt more was the distance growing between us. I needed him to believe me, and he didn't. Meanwhile, Anna stood alone in her apartment. The walls felt smaller now. Her humiliation at the hospital burned in her veins. She replayed it in her mind again and again. The doctor exposing her, the gasps of strangers, the look of victory on Claire's face. Her nails dug into her palms until they bled. She stole my life, Anna hissed. She stole my baby. Her eyes flicked to the doll in the stroller. But this time, it wasn't enough. She needed the real thing. She pulled out a notebook. Inside, pages of notes. Claire's schedule. David's work hours. Emily's doctor appointments. And at the bottom of the page, in jagged letters, she wrote, "If I can't have her legally, I'll take her another way." At home, I tried to keep life normal. Play dates, walks, cooking dinner. But paranoia followed me everywhere. At the grocery store, I swore I saw her reflection in the glass doors. At the park,
I felt her eyes on me even when no one was there. At night, I heard phantom footsteps outside the house. David's voice grew colder. Claire, you're unraveling. Maybe you should talk to someone, a therapist. I snapped back. I don't need therapy. I need you to believe me. But he turned away, silent, distant, and I felt more alone than ever. Meanwhile, Anna stood in the shadows across the street, watching the lights in my house flicker off one by one, her lips curled into a smile. You're breaking, Claire. You're losing him. You're losing control. And soon, you'll lose her, too. Her laughter echoed in the night, low, sinister, promising that the worst was yet to come.
For the first time in weeks, the house was quiet. Too quiet. Emily slept peacefully in her crib, her tiny breaths steady, her innocence untouched by the chaos that surrounded us. I stood at the window, staring at the empty street. No shadows, no footsteps, no sign of Anna. But the silence didn't comfort me. It terrified me, because silence meant planning. Silence meant she was waiting. David tried to convince me things were better. She's gone, Claire. She embarrassed herself at the hospital. She won't come back. But I shook my head. You don't know her like I do. People like Anna don't disappear. They hide. They prepare. David sighed, his shoulders heavy. We can't keep living in fear. We need to move forward. He placed his hand gently over mine. And maybe a family gathering will help. My parents want to host us this weekend. It might be good for everyone. I hesitated. The thought of stepping into public again twisted my stomach. But maybe he was right. Maybe I couldn't let Anna steal more from me than she already had. That weekend, we packed Emily's bag, her favorite toys, her blanket, her tiny pink shoes. As I buckled her into the car seat, she smiled up at me, and for a moment, hope sparked inside me. Maybe David was right. Maybe normal was still possible. Meanwhile, Anna sat in her darkened apartment, the blinds drawn, her table littered with papers, fake IDs, forged medical forms, photos of Emily clipped to files. Her humiliation still burned, the memory of the doctor's voice, the gasps of strangers, the security guards dragging her away. But beneath the rage was calculation. She scribbled in her notebook, "Family gathering, perfect opportunity." Her lips curled into a smile. They'll think they're safe. They'll think it's over. But I'll be there. I'll always be there. At David's parents' house, laughter filled the air. The table was set with food. Relatives passed Emily from arm to arm. Her giggles warmed the room. For the first time in months, I felt a flicker of peace, surrounded by family, surrounded by love. David smiled at me. See? This is what we needed. This is home. I nodded, trying to believe him, trying to believe in the moment. But deep inside, I felt it. The weight of unseen eyes, the chill of a shadow lurking close. That night, after everyone went to bed, I stepped outside. The cool air brushed my skin. The yard was quiet. But across the street, parked beneath a flickering street lamp, I saw it. A car. Windows tinted, engine silent. And for just a second, I swore I saw her, Anna, watching, waiting. I rushed back inside, locking the door behind me. My hands trembled, my heart pounded. David found me in the hallway. "Claire, what's wrong?" I swallowed hard. "She's here. I know she's here." He pulled me into his arms, but his words didn't soothe me. "She can't hurt us anymore. You have to let it go." But I couldn't, because I knew. The storm wasn't over. This was only the calm before it hit. And when it came, it would destroy everything. The house was full of laughter.
David's parents beamed as they passed Emily from arm to arm. Uncles joked, aunts fussed over the baby's cheeks. For a moment, it felt almost normal. I tried to breathe it in, tried to believe I was safe. But inside, my chest stayed tight, because I knew Anna was out there, watching. Dinner was almost finished when it happened. The doorbell rang. Once, then twice. David's father rose, chuckling. Probably a neighbor. He opened the door, and there she was. Anna. Her hair neatly tied, a polite smile plastered on her face, a gift bag in her hands. "Hello," she said sweetly. "I'm Claire's sister. I hope I'm not intruding." My blood turned to ice. Every muscle in my body froze. Gasps rippled around the table. David's father frowned. "Claire, I didn't know you had a sister." "I don't," I snapped, rising to my feet. "She's lying. She's not family. She's nothing." But Anna stepped inside calmly, as if she belonged, as if my denial was madness. She walked straight to Emily, the gift bag dangling from her wrist. "Oh, Emily, she's even more beautiful tonight, just like her mother." I lunged forward, blocking her path. "Don't touch her!" The room went silent. Relatives stared. Confusion spread like wildfire. Anna's smile trembled, her voice soft. "Claire, please, don't do this in front of your family. You know I've always helped you. You know I love Emily." Her words dripped with poison, twisting reality, making me look unstable. David stepped between us. "Claire, calm down." I spun on him. "Don't you see what she's doing? She's weaving herself into our lives. She's trying to take Emily." Anna lowered her head, playing the victim. "I never meant to cause trouble. I just care so much. I only wanted to help." Gasps filled the room again, and I realized with horror they were doubting me, believing her. Then Anna played her final card. She pulled papers from her bag. Documents. Forged, but convincing. "Look," she said softly, tears brimming her eyes. "I have proof. Emily belongs to me." My knees buckled. I shook my head violently. "No! She stole those! They're fake!" But whispers spread around the room. What if it's true? She seems so sure. Why would she lie? I felt my world collapsing, the walls closing in. I clutched Emily to my chest, tears streaming down my face. "You will never take her from me," I screamed. "She is mine." The room froze. The baby cried, and in that chaos, Anna's smile slipped. For just a moment, the mask cracked. Her green eyes burned with obsession. Her voice dropped to a whisper only I could hear. "She's already mine, Claire. You just don't know it yet." The family stared at me, at her, at the screaming child in my arms. And I knew this wasn't just a gathering anymore. It was war. The living room was silent. Everyone stared. Me clutching Emily to my chest, Anna standing tall with her forged papers. The air was heavy. Every second stretched like an eternity. David's mother finally spoke. "Claire, these documents, if they're real—" "They're not real," I shouted. "She stole them. She forged them. She's been stalking me for months." My voice cracked with desperation. Tears blurred my vision. but Anna's voice stayed calm, sweet, convincing. Claire's exhausted. You all see it, don't you? She can't handle the stress of motherhood. That's why I've stepped in. That's why I've cared for Emily as if she were my own. Gasps, whispers, and doubt. Doubt filling the room like poison. I turned to David. Please, I begged, tell them the truth. Tell them she's lying. But his face was pale, his lips pressed tight. He looked at me, then at her, and his silence shattered me. Anna stepped closer, her hand stretched toward Emily. Come here, sweetheart, she cooed. Mommy's here now. I backed away, screaming, Don't touch her! The room erupted. David's father shouted. His mother cried out. Relatives moved forward, unsure whom to believe. Then the door burst open. 2 police officers stormed in. Step away from the child, one barked. Anna froze. Her smile faltered. What? No, she's mine. I have the papers. The officer snatched the documents from her hand, scanned them quickly. His eyes narrowed. These are forgeries. Gasps ripped through the room. David's mother clutched her chest. Relatives whispered in shock. Anna's calm facade shattered. Her voice rose to a scream. She's supposed to be mine. Claire doesn't deserve her. I deserve her. Her hair fell loose, her face twisted with rage. All the sweetness, all the politeness, gone. The officers grabbed her arms. She thrashed wildly, screaming, You'll regret this, Claire. She's mine. She's mine. Emily wailed in my arms. I held her tighter, tears pouring down my cheeks. As they dragged Anna toward the door, she turned one last time. Her eyes locked on me, cold, burning. This isn't over, she hissed. This will never be over. And then she was gone. The door slammed shut. Silence fell, broken only by Emily's cries and my sobs. The family stared at me, ashamed. They had doubted me. They had believed her. And now the truth was undeniable. David finally stepped forward, his voice trembling. Claire, I'm sorry. I should have believed you. But I couldn't look at him, because the cracks between us felt too deep, the betrayal too raw. I rocked Emily gently, whispering into her tiny ear, It's over, baby. You're safe now. Mommy's here. But inside, I knew. It wasn't truly over. Anna's scream still echoed in my mind. She's mine!
The house was silent again, but it wasn't peace. It was the kind of silence that comes after a storm, when trees are broken, windows shattered, and nothing feels the same. I sat in Emily's nursery. The lavender walls that once comforted me now felt like prison bars. Her crib sat against the corner, her tiny breaths steady as she slept. I stroked her hair softly, whispering, You're safe now. Mommy's here. I won't let her take you. But my voice cracked, because deep inside, I wasn't sure. Downstairs, the family murmured in hushed tones. Shame, regret. None of them could look me in the eyes. David's mother finally spoke. Claire, I don't know how we doubted you. We should have listened. We should have believed. Her tears fell into her hands. I wanted to forgive her, but the wound was too fresh. Later, when everyone left, David sat across from me at the table, his face pale, his eyes heavy. Claire, he whispered, I'm sorry. I should have trusted you. I should have protected you. Protected us. Tears stung my eyes. But you didn't. You doubted me. You made me feel crazy when I was the only one who saw the truth. His shoulders slumped. I know. I don't know if I can forgive myself. The silence between us stretched, a canyon too wide to cross. That night, the phone rang.
My blood froze. A blocked number. I hesitated, then answered. At first, silence, then a whisper. Mommy? My knees buckled. It was her. Anna. But how? She was supposed to be gone. Arrested. Her laughter crackled through the line. Low. Dark. You think this is over? It's not. I'll always be with her. With you. Even if it's just in your mind. The line got dead. But her voice stayed. Echoing. Haunting. I collapsed onto the floor sobbing. David rushed to my side. What happened? I couldn't even speak. Because the truth was unbearable. Even locked away, even with justice served, Anna still had power over me. I rocked Emily back to sleep, whispering a prayer into the darkness. Please let this end. Please let her never come back. But I knew the scars she left would never fully heal. Not for me, not for Emily.
The courthouse was silent. Rows of faces filled the benches, reporters, neighbors, strangers who had followed the story. And at the front, shackled, stood Anna. Her green eyes still burning. But the calm, polished smile was gone, replaced by something raw, unhinged. The judge's voice cut through the silence. Anna Reed, you are hereby sentenced for attempted child abduction, identity fraud, and falsification of legal documents. Your actions endangered a child and tore a family apart. His gavel struck. The sound echoed like thunder. Gasps filled the room. Whispers spread. And for the first time, I felt the weight lift from my chest. Justice! Anna's head snapped toward me. Her voice cracked, desperate. She was supposed to be mine. Claire doesn't deserve her. Her words fell on deaf ears. The officers grabbed her arms, dragged her away. Her screams echoed down the hallway until they faded into silence. And just like that, she was gone. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed. Claire, how do you feel now that justice has been served? I clutched Emily tighter, her tiny hand gripping my blouse. I feel grateful, I whispered. Grateful that the truth came out. Grateful my daughter is safe and stronger because we survived. That night, back at home, I sat in Emily's nursery. The lavender walls didn't feel like prison anymore. They felt like protection, like a shield. I whispered to her as she slept. She's gone now, baby. She can't hurt us anymore. We're free. Tears streamed down my cheeks, but they weren't tears of fear. They were tears of release. David sat beside me, his hand trembling as it reached for mine. Claire, I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I'll spend every day trying to earn it. I'll never doubt you again. For the first time in months, I believed him. And though the scars remained, the healing had begun. Months passed, the shadows faded, the whispers of fear grew quiet. Emily took her first steps. Her laughter filled the house again. Life moved forward. And so did I. Because Anna had tried to erase me, tried to steal my child, tried to rewrite my life. But in the end, the truth stood stronger than her lies. Justice had been served, and I had survived. I looked into Emily's bright eyes, and I knew. This wasn't just survival. It was victory. A mother's victory, a daughter's future, a family restored. And nothing, no shadow, no lie, no obsession, could ever take that away again.